Hello everyone, it's Janet and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you this last Easter card of the season, which is a window card with the peace and happy Easter showing. Before I get started though, I want to remind everybody who likes Instagram that I do have an Instagram page and I'm running a giveaway over there right now. Just go over there, subscribe or follow me and put in a comment about what you like best about spring. If you do that before April 27th, I will include you in a drawing for a $20 gift card from CottageCutz. It is not sponsored by CottageCutz, however, so just be aware of that. So let's take a look at the card that I did for you today. It's very soft and subtle with the peace written right across the top of the frame here, and it is a window card, as you can see here, with the Happy Easter on the top of it and the peace. But then you open it up and you see the crosses in full view. So it's kind of a peeker style card, as I would call it. Let's take a look at what it takes to put this one together. The cardstock I used for this card is from Momenta, and it is something I picked up at Tuesday morning. It's a nice bunch of papers. They're two-sided and they're very subtly kind of acidic washed looking, and they make a very nice background to almost anything. And the colors are either very bold, like these greens, or they're fairly soft, and the edges all have this painting or weathering on the edges, and I took advantage of that while making this card in the frame and also when I cut the crosses out. And I'll show you here what I mean. You'll see on the frame here we've got some of this washing of yellow mixed in with the green, and that's because I cut the frame out on the edges of the paper to pick that up. It's a nice little effect. I also used a strip from this K&K Company paper pad. It's really old, but you see here I used it just as a little bit of a highlight there on the left side of my card. Here it is right there, and it's got kind of a weathered, washed look, and so it goes fairly nicely with my main paper colors that I used from the Momenta paper pad stack. So it is right here, just a little bit on the edge. Now the bigger yellow piece I cut out of the pad using this Avery Elle set. It's the largest piece in it, and this die set is called the Pierced Banner Layer Die. And it's a really great set for, you know, many kinds of sentiments, and you see I used it here. It was actually one big long one with fishtails on both ends. I cut it off a bit and just attached it to the card, as you see right here. Now for the frame, I use this CottageCutz die called Stitched Wide Oval Frame Set, and it's just perfect for something like this. I love the wide frame and the stitching on both edges. Really a pretty look. And then I'm also using the Ornate cross. There are 3 crosses in this, a main one and then 2 smaller ones that are meant to be stacked on top of each other. But in this case, I use them separately to represent the 2 crosses of the criminals that were crucified with Christ. And I placed them here so they would peek through the window and you would then see the 3 crosses together. Now I cut that frame out separately, and I used this stitched oval set to actually cut the hole in the card front here, and that was just about the right size so that I could place the frame on top of that and hide the edge. Now the word peace here comes from the Hero Art Stamp and Cut set, aptly named Peace, and it has lots of beautiful sayings with it, as well as a few figures such as the dove, which I put on the corner of this card. Now this set is really geared towards Christmas. Most of the sayings on the set are about Christmas, but I think Easter is the time of greatest peace and should be of greatest peace, and so I bought the set specifically for this in mind, and I really love how it turned out. Now here I want to show you how I made that 4-inch panel out of 2 pieces of paper. I made myself a jig that was 4 inches wide here in white, and then you can lay out your 2 pieces matching the edges on each side, and when you're done gluing them together, it's exactly 4 inches and they're exactly straight. So it's a great way to make things easy and not make any errors when you can use something like that to help you in the process. Now here I'm using that larger oval die, setting it up on my card front, or in other words my mat, and it cuts open the hole for me, and then this is going to go on top of my white card base. I'm using double-sided tape and doing the edges around the oval as well, because I want the edge of that cut where the oval is to be fairly secure on the card. Now I'm going to take that same die that I used to cut the card mat out and put it inside of the mat on my card front, and that acts as a template to make sure that the oval cut in the actual card itself is in the right place, and it's really perfect. It's exactly where I want it. Now here I'm just gluing on that frame that I cut out earlier and making sure that I have it in the right place and that it covers up all the raw edges. Next comes the little card mat inside, because since we see that, we want it to be pretty. And here I'm figuring out where to put this cross, and again this is called Ornate cross from CottageCutz, and I just glue this here and there, trying to hit all the main parts as much as possible. I'm using the art glitter glue, so if any of it does show through, it's going to be see-through and you won't notice it. Next come the two crosses, which I apply also with glue, just one on each side. And then next is going to come the piece die cut, which will go on the front, and that is cut 3 times. I layered one on top of each other and glued it, and then this was nice and stiff and will hold its shape when I put it there across the window. My sentiment was previously cut, and I heat embossed gold powder here to say Happy Easter. And then the last touch is the dove that I wanted in the corner of this card. To me, this represents Christ, who was born and resurrected as the dove of peace for the world. Well, that concludes my project for you today. I hope you enjoyed your time with me. I know I always enjoy spending time with you guys. Regardless of your particular religion, I hope you will grant me a little leeway to wish you happy Easter and to wish you peace during this very special holiday time in the Christian calendar. Thank you. I'll see you soon, but until then, keep crafting. Bye.